Welcome back to the second part of this pagination section, right? Or, the following the last lecture. So I'm going to be writing down some comments in the code when you get the reference files. If you like to read, to have it there for reference, you can, okay? Just to let you know, I'm not going to do that in the course here, but later on I will write it down so that way you have some information there, just in case you want to learn this stuff really good. All right, so what's the next step here? Well, we need to create the numbers, the middle numbers that the users click in right here. We want to create this area here. So we're gonna need some variables to add and subtract every time we click on one of these guys. And then we need to write some conditions along with that, okay? We're gonna be using a lot of if statements and variables. Remember, I told you that. So if you want, you can just write a comment here. This is where, the middle numbers are going, but I'm going to do that for you in the reference files. But I suggest you do it so that way you get used to it. Let's go and let's create an empty variable here. We're going to build this, okay? And let's go here and create some type of variables for subtracting. Let's call this subtract. That's too long. Let's just call this subtract. And we're going to subtract the page by 1. Simple as that. Okay. And let's copy this guy here. And we're going to call this number 2. And then we need one to add. Actually, this is going to be add 1. And let's just copy this guy here real quick. 2. Okay. We got those variables there. You can put a little space just to make them pretty there. Okay. So let's write down some conditions here. Okay. So let's say if the page equals 1, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to start building this. And let's just say we're going to put a link here. But for this, okay, and this first link here that I want is going to be a list item, and this list item needs to be active as well. Okay, as you can see, if we are on page 1, I want this to be active. There's a couple things that I want it to happen. I don't want this back button, of course, but I want this to be active. And of course, I want Bootstrap class for this. So let's go and find something in Bootstrap. Let's find pagination in Bootstrap. And right here, this is the pagination, as you can see here. So we need to have this available. Okay. Let's grab one of these guys. But we need an active class on this. So right here, this is the active one we want. Let's just take this guy here. Let's go back. And let's start working on it. Let's paste that in there just for reference. And let's just put this right here. Since we have double quotes inside, I'm gonna use single quotes outside, okay? So that way it doesn't break. Once we have this, then it has this anchor tag there. So let's use this. And if I paste it in here, that would be good. But then we will have to break it down. Let me put this way so that way you have more space. Okay, let's just close this and let's start working on it. Let's work on the href right here. So I'm gonna break this like this, And what I'm gonna use is a variable, one of these server variables that is going to give me the page that we're on. Okay, so it's going this page PHP self, and you can see this is an arrays server has a bunch of other values that you can access, and this PHP self, this is like a global variable, guys. You can access this from anywhere. Okay, this is already defined in the language. So PHP self is going to give me the page that I'm on, that index, and you can echo this if you want to see it. Okay, I'm not going to do that here. So if I make this a little smaller, I don't want this to break, but that's fine. So we're going on the next line here to write this because my screen is huge. And what I want to do is I want to build right here. I want to say, well, page is going to be equal to something. Okay. And right here in between, I want to break this. Okay. Right there. And I'm going to do that. And what I wanted to put in there is one of these variables. So when the user clicks, it adds 1. Okay. And once we break this here, right here, that's fine. We can add it right here because this is going to be the number. Okay. And then we can close everything. And we're going to check how that looks in a minute, but and the link as well. Okay, that should do it for that. Huh. This actually, we need, this is going to be this, we're going to make this a second link. Anyway, let's just do that real quick. Let's copy this again. And let's paste this on top. And this one here, I don't want none of this stuff in there. As a matter of fact, I don't even want an href in that link. And I don't even want anything on that link. This is going to be the page number right here. That's what I need to do. Okay, so this is going to be the active one and this is not. Simple as that. I know this might seem a little confusing there, but it's not. We're gonna have two list items. Okay, one is going to be giving us the page number, because remember, this is page 1. We want to show something active, and that's going to give me that. If I put the href here, that's going to give me a link. I don't want the user to click on that. And of course, this is going to be the number for that specific page. Okay, and here, okay, this is just a list item and we are actually clicking on this. Okay, so if I go back here, let's see if I can make this happen. If I put number 1, you see it's not even being clickable here. Okay, so I can't click it. Now we're not getting our pagination classes because we have to add the UL tag, and we have not done that. All we're doing is doing the list items. That we can actually echo it out so that way you can see it. So let's just do here, build this up here real quick. And let's say this is a UL with a class of pagination. And here we're just going to close it. And we are going to be putting this number there so that way you can see it. Okay. Let's go to the next screen and right here. And as you can see, we already have that working. Okay. So we're going to do this at the end, though. We're not going to play around with that now. So I hope you're getting an idea how this is working. Okay. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing in the next lecture. We're going to keep building this. And as you can see, I'm concatenating it because I have a dot right in front of it. So we're building this variable here little by little. And then at the end, we can just kind of display like this in between the UL tag. Okay, in between the opening and closing review of the UL. So these classes work. Anyway, that's it for this lecture. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.